Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jay, and I have got 8 years of experience in teaching IELTS and general English.
And hi, my name is Alan. I've also got 8 years teaching IELTS and general English in Vietnam. I've set up an IELTS program at international schools, and I also have a centre.
So Alan, we are going to talk about speaking part 2 today, and signposting language. What is it?
Well, signposting language is very useful little phrases that you can use at the start of your answer, or to connect parts of your answer together, to show the listener what you are talking about or what you will talk about.
So, like I always say to my students, if the examiner has to use more than one brain cell listening to what you say, then he might not like your answers.
Yeah, that's right. People are lazy and they want to be spoon-fed the information, which means you have to make it as clear as possible what you will say or what you're about to say. And this is particularly good in IELTS. It goes towards your fluency and coherence, part of your band score. So it's really important.
Okay. So Alan, we are going to take a look at some phrases.
Let's go through some examples and the best way to use them.
Okay, so let's take a look at this prompt.
Describe a person you admire.
And yeah, there will be 4 points that you have to say. The first one is who they are. The second one is, well, might be about their appearance or their personality. The third one can be about how you met the person. And the last one is to explain. Explain why you admire the person.
That's right. So we need to add signposting language to introduce each different part or to answer each part of that prompt. So the first part, who are they?
Well, I think we can say I'd like to talk about. I'd like to talk about my wife. Or the person that I admire the most is my wife.
Exactly, yeah. So the examiner knows that you are answering that part of the prompt. You're introducing them. Okay. Easy enough?
Okay, so the next part of the prompt is what they're like. So we can talk about their appearance or personality, right?
Yeah, so to introduce this part of the prompt, we could say personality-wise, they are very, and then some adjectives. We could say regarding their appearance, they are, We could say in addition to their great personality, they also have a great appearance too.
Okay, and then if we want to talk about some examples, right, to show how they what they are, right? We can say, for example, this time she helped someone to show that they are very helpful.
Yeah, that's right. If you say that she's very helpful and you don't back that up with any more explanation, it's not very deep and it might seem a bit random, maybe a bit confusing if you're talking about lots of she's kind, she's patient, she's But if you say, oh, she's very kind, for example, she helps people cross the road. Now that would be much more memorable in the examiner's mind. You've gone much deeper into that topic just by saying, for example.
It's better to develop your answer deeply, right? Instead of just listing out words. It's not like a vocabulary contest.
Yeah, that's right. I think it could get very confusing if you're just given a list of things that describing words and never given any example or reasons for it or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so the next part is how you met them. I think we can start simply by saying
I met them when?
Or?
I remember when I met them.
Okay. Yeah, and I have one really nice phrase, if I remember correctly, right? Or if my memory serves me correctly. I think those are the phrases that you can use to maybe upgrade your vocabulary a little bit. And maybe to upgrade your grammar score, you can say, you can use past continuous, right? The first time that I met them was when I was studying in secondary school.
It's a great example, yeah. Yeah, and putting that past grammar in this particular prompt is great because you're showing the examiner, I'm going to talk about the past now. And that is what signposting language is. Okay, on to the final part of the prompt. Why you admire them.
Right, so the last part of the prompt is usually about why, right? So we can have many reasons or several reasons. So how do we start the sentence?
We could start with, again, signposting language. We could say, the main reason why I admire them is because, and then you talk about your reason.
Right. And also, I think we can paraphrase it a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. To
We say-
improve that vocabulary score.
Yeah. Like the reason why I look up to them is, or you use the word admiration. Right?
Yeah, you could change the form of the word from admire to admiration. Show some pronunciation skill as well.
Right.
Yeah, the reason why I have admiration for them is because. Okay, let's talk about how you can structure your answer for a specific part of the prompt. Let's talk about, for example, reasons why you admire them. Here, it's not a good idea just to list, I admire them because A, B, C. No, we need to go deeper into each of those points. So how can we structure that?
Right. I think we can start by saying something more general. There are some reasons why I admire them. Firstly, blah, 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 and then secondly, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly. The first reason is, the second reason is. This just lets the examiner know that you are talking about individual reasons and it's not all mashed together.
Right. And it's really clear, right? And I think those phrases can help you in the third part of the test as well, where you have to give maybe 2 or 3 reasons for your answer.
Yeah, and of course in writing too. Very helpful. This is part of signposting language too. So let's wrap this video up. As you can tell, we're near the end of this video because I use signposting language. So if you want to when you want to end your 2-minute speech, we should use some signposting language to show the examiner this is the end.
Right. Something like overall, the reasons above are why I admire this person.
Yeah. You know, another one is to sum up, this person has had a significant impact on me, and because of the reasons that I told you before.
Okay.
Okay, let's give some sample answers for each of these prompts. So the first prompt, who are they?
Okay, so the person that I'm thinking of right now is Chào, who is my wife, and she's one of the people that I admire the most.
So let's talk about the next part of the prompt, how you met them.
Right, so if my memory serves me correctly, I met her when I was scrolling on Tinder, and I saw a really beautiful woman, and then I just decided to swipe right and talk to her. Okay, how about you, Alan? The first time that you met your sister?
Well, the first time I met my sister, I was 2 years old, so I don't really remember it. But yeah, it was a long time ago now.
Okay, so the third part of the prompt, what they're like.
Well, about my sister's personality, she really is a strong person. Yeah, because she's been through so much. And then in terms of her appearance, well, she is also very strong. And how about you?
Well, personality-wise, my wife is really nice and she's really helpful. She's willing to go the extra mile to help me and people around her. And in terms of appearance, she is not too tall, but she's really cute, I'd say. Okay, moving on to the reasons. The reasons why you admire her.
There are many reasons why I admire my sister. The first reason is because, well, as I mentioned before, she is very strong. And then I would go on to talk about and explain why she's strong and give examples.
Right.
Then I'd say something like, the second reason why I admire her is because, and
Then explain it.
explain it, yeah, and give reasons and examples. Okay, and how about you? Why do you admire your wife?
Well, I think the main reason why I admire my wife is that she's really dedicated to our business. I think because of her, I was able to grow my business and I have what I have today.
Okay, and how can you finish?
Well, very simple. Overall, because of the reasons that I've mentioned, Chào is probably the person that I admire the most. Okay, so it's your turn to give us a conclusion.
So to sum up, my sister is such a great person, and that's why I admire her.